Beef and rice, vegetables and eggs, homemade dog food recipe. So today we're gonna make this dog food because we don't have any. The chicken is not thawed out, and also we don't we don't have nothing to feed the dog, so we gotta cook something for them. So let's get into the prices. We got this 10-pound bag of long grain enriched rice for $7.49 plus tax. Let's just say it was about $8 for this 10-pound bag of rice. And then we got these burgers. Now, I thought these burgers was $10 for 6 pounds. So I kind of messed up and realized when I got in the car, it was $22 plus. I could have went back in the store and switched it out or this or that, but I just said to hell with it. You know what I'm saying? We'll just do it like this because I don't have much time. I'm actually supposed to be sleeping right now, getting ready for work. But so we got our beef, burgers, we got our vegetables, and we got our eggs. We already had the eggs, we already had the vegetables. Technically, we didn't have to pay for these. You know what I mean? And technically, we could have got this beef for $16. I'm in the hood where it's always good. So they got this beef that you would not want to feed to your family, but you would feed it to a dog. You know what I'm saying? The beef ain't right. I mean, if you cook it down, you'd probably be good. But, the beef they got is over at Save-A-Lot. Coast, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to eat that shit, bro. You know, to each his own if you're eating it. But basically, this is half of this portions of beef. This is half of the rice. I mean, this is half of the portions of beef. And we'll just use half of this rice and we'll use a few eggs. So first thing we're going to do, we got our pot of water boiling. And I know our pot is not all the way clean. I'm sorry, I ain't got no Brillo pad. I burnt the pot up and I ain't got no Brillo pad. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to pour half of this rice in here. And bear with me, I only got one hand, so this ain't going to be easy. I got no help at all. So hey, we're going to fill this up with the rice. You know, half of the bag. I'm not going to weigh it out. I'm just going to use my eyesight. If you're a professional cook, or if you cook a lot, you'll know what half is. And this is probably close to half. But you don't necessarily need to be 100% correct. But it gives me an opportunity to make this meal twice, which will be 2 days worth of food. And technically, I paid $30 for these ingredients because it was $8 for the rice, $22 for the burgers. So in actuality, you know what I'm saying, this is $15 a day. But I mean, obviously, if you guys had to buy these eggs and the vegetables, it would probably add up to what I paid, which is $30. Because with this burgers and the rice, I paid $30. But I could have got this for cheaper for about $16, which I would have saved about $6. So it would have been like 16 plus 8, $24. So this is a $24 meal. And technically, if you break this down into 2 days, that's $12 a day. Why is that kind of important? We're not including the eggs and the vegetables, but you could include those into the price and they bring you up to about 30, or you could reduce the amount of food you're using and it bring you about 12. And if you got less dogs than me, basically I can make this for $12 a day. And I'm realizing that right now. I'm just realizing now, boom, we just put half a bag of vegetables in there. What I'm seeing with the vegetables is they go in one end, they come out the other. You know what? I might just go ahead on and put this whole bag in there. The hell with it. There's more where that came from. So we're putting everything on top of the rice with the theory being the rice will cook and then we'll just mix everything up at the end. Next, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We got 19 eggs. We're going to use 9 of them. One. Oh, shit. We're just going to crack them and just drop them in there. Why we going to do that? That's how we doing it. We don't need to be all extra precise around here. You know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we just use 9 eggs. Boom, boom. And next we're gonna drop in our burgers. 12 burgers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are quarter pounders. So it should be about, well, we know the box is 6 pounds, so we know that that's 3 pounds of burgers. And we got this other half just waiting. And let's look at these burgers. Let's look what we get of these burgers. 18 grams of fat, protein. And then we get, 37%, 55% saturated fat. So these burgers are high in saturated fat. You know, very high in saturated fat. The dogs is crying. They want their food. They want it. Next, we're going to go ahead on and pour some of this olive oil on there, extra virgin. Give that omega-3s. Shit, that's a lot. I don't know how much that is, but it's probably like, I don't know, half a cup or better. About a half a cup of that. While we're doing that, we're just adding more nutrients. Not really nutrients, but we're just adding more fats. You know what I'm saying? We're going to let this cook down, and then we're going to mix it up at the end. This is a simple way to make dog food. I'm just giving people ideas because a lot of people ask, like, what do I feed my dog? Then a lot of people ask, what do you feed your dog? Well, really, it's the genetics of my dog that makes him big. You know what I'm saying? It's the genetics. So he just patiently waiting. He know he gonna get it. It's the genetics. It's not what I'm feeding. What I'm feeding actually just, you know, how do I say this? What I'm feeding actually just keeps the dog healthy and keeps the dog looking good. Coat good, skin good, you know, but it's the genetics of my dog. But when it comes to the feeding also with your dog, if you put the wrong shit in the food, your dog's coat is not going to look good, and the dog may get sick and get allergies and all kind of shit. So we're going to cook all this down. And look, we got a whole nother day of this. So technically, I'm starting to realize if I can get me 2 big pots like this, because I probably have to soak one and then cook with one, I could feed the dogs for $12 a day. Now, when I was buying the cheapest dog food, which is $40-something, what is that dog food called? Let's say it was a Diamond Puppy. Buying Diamond Puppy is $40 plus tax, plus the drive. Plus I'm spending my money outside of my neighborhood. I like to spend my money in my neighborhood just to kind of keep the economy in my neighborhood good. You know, we're in the hood where it's always good. So I always want to be able to spend my money in the hood so everybody got a job. You know what I'm saying? Even the lady at the check cash, she plays a little security dude that think he a cop. Everybody gets something, you know, out of my check. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here dealing and dabbling and wheeling and dealing, making this cake. So when I'm ready to buy some gear, I'm going to the hood mall. When I'm ready to buy something to eat, I'm going to the hood Fridays or you know, anything in my neighborhood, anything close to my house, just to keep the money in the hood. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas, y'all get your money, y'all drive away from where y'all live at, and y'all don't keep y'all money in your neighborhood. Totally off subject, but also keeping that money in the neighborhood actually keeps gas in my pocket. I don't have to travel far, more sleep, more relaxation for myself. But let's get back to the business. I could make this for $12 to $15 a day. If you multiply that times 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, plus 35, technically I could feed all these dogs for fucking $110 a week. Or something like that. Which, when I was buying dog food, I'm buying about $175 worth of dog food. They're eating it all up. They're shitting everywhere. I'm cleaning up massive shits, which means I gotta dispose of this stuff. And when you dispose of it, you can't just put it in the trash. You gotta get creative, which gives me more work. Then you gotta scrub the shit off the ground, more work. Then you gotta put down soap powder and bleach and water. And soap powder's $20. The bleach is damn near $10. Then you got trash bags. I mean, this $15 of food is saving me a ton of money and a ton of cleanup. And right now, as you hear, all the dogs are quiet. You got a few puppies crying or whatever because they're hungry. We're gonna cook this for about an hour. 45 minutes. We're gonna let this cook, and we're gonna mix it up and give it to the dogs. I'm not gonna show y'all feeding it to the dogs. I'm not gonna show y'all how they scarf it down. Just imagine what a dog would do if you gave them a plate of burgers and meat. You know what I'm saying? And vegetables. The vegetables just gonna come right out the other end the same way they went in. But everybody seems to say feed the damn dog vegetables. I think for real, with these vegetables, you gotta cook these vegetables for I think you should cook the vegetables down for about an hour, then add your rice and beef and all that stuff like that. But like I was saying, this is just giving people ideas of how to feed your dog at home. And in reality, this is actually cheaper than dog food because this is about $12. I still got a whole nother recipe I can make tomorrow. This is actually cheaper than me buying cases of chicken. So I could just keep running to Save a Lot and grabbing these ingredients. Just run to Save a Lot, whip this up. If you only got one dog, this might last you 2 weeks or something, or a week, or I don't know, a week or so. You give them half bowl of this and then whatever you got left over. And I got this idea from his QB and Kennel was saying you can feed a dog for $60 if you cook raw. Now, I don't see the $60 part, but I definitely can see where it's a lot cheaper than what I thought. So, man, yeah, it's what it is. It's how we feed our dogs, man. So for all you people that don't like my facility, I don't hear y'all saying nothing about when I make these good meals for my dogs and keep them clean and healthy and make sure they go for runs in the park and give them baths. All I hear is negativity from a lot of people. And the one thing I know about people that's talking trash about somebody else's facility, they're broke. They ain't got shit. And they living with their mama. And their mama is probably living off the government. And it ain't nothing wrong with it, but people that talk trash about other people's living conditions obviously are broke. Because if you're rich, you wouldn't want to talk down on somebody else because you got it. You know what I'm saying? If you got it, why you talking down on somebody else? It's normally broke people. Back in Philly growing up, we always talk trash about each other, joning on each other, frying on each other. I had one pair of shoes. And I'm over here sitting around talking shit about other people. When we frying each other up, we call it busting. They call it frying out here in Maryland or whatever. We busting on people and shit. We ain't got no money whatsoever. I couldn't even pull out a $20 bill in my pocket if I wanted to. But I'm sitting here talking about people's haircuts, people's clothes. So one thing I know about people that like to talk trash, keep making your nasty comments. Hey, it don't affect me because when I upgrade on you and I got the full-blown facility and everything looking good and clean, then what you gonna say? You gonna say something else. So keep sitting on your computers at home and talking trash. You know what I mean? When you decide to get up off that computer and step into the real world, you gonna see there's real niggas out here.